I just want to say thank you. I love your work, and I really just want to thank you for everything you've done. It's just really brought me a lot of, I've just really enjoyed watching you work. So
Thank
thank
you.
you.
Thank you.
So I like throwing a curveball at the beginning. If someone has actually never seen anything that you've done before, what would be the first thing you want them watching and why?
Wow. I guess I'd say the tragedy of Macbeth, because maybe that's my most mature work. I don't know if that's the reason why, but I feel comfortable about my work, where I am with my work now. So I would say the tragedy of Macbeth.
You last time you did Shakespeare on film was in 1993 with was Much Ado About Nothing. Had
Right.
you been approached about doing something else Shakespeare since then, and had you been like sort of turning it down, or was this, you know what I mean? Like how did this? I guess had you been approached for something else prior to this?
Well, I did Julius Caesar. I played Brutus on Broadway,
Yeah,
so
totally.
not for film, but no, I've been at nobody called.
That's crazy. So obviously, you're a very talented director, but working with Joel Coen, I would imagine maybe you're gleaning a little bit of what he's doing to maybe to steal from it to, for the next thing you direct. And I'm just curious, what did you learn working with Joel that you want to take with you as a director?
Everything. I was stealing too. I mean, he's a master, so you wonder sometimes, well, why over here? I remember asking him one time. He was setting up a shot and I wasn't in it. So I had my director's hat on because I wasn't in that part of the scene. So I said, "Now I noticed you put the camera down here, like a lower angle. Is that, are you making a statement? Is that a psychological thing? Or why'd you put the camera so low?" He said, "Actually, I just like the ceiling." I was like, "You like the ceiling?" He said, "Yeah, look up." I was like, "Oh yeah." He said, "Yeah, I like the way the ceiling looked." I said, "So it was as simple as that?" He said, basically what he said was, he didn't say this word for word, but what I got from it was as simple as that now, because he had done everything else. He was prepared. He had thought about it every way. He had storyboarded it. He thought about every angle. And then at that moment, he said, "No, I like this." So he had done the work, but then he was still open to improvisation or another way of looking at it, reinterpreting it.
I loved Bruno's work behind the camera, and at times I thought I was watching like a German expressionistic painting, or a film come to life. Could you sort of
Right.
talk about working with Bruno and what you enjoyed about his cinematography?
I love watching the two of them collaborate. I would get there early in the morning so I could run lines, sometimes 4 in the morning, 5 in the morning. And very rarely was I there before Bruno. He was always there, always working with his crew, and he like setting lights himself. I mean, he was about the work, and it was just that kind of a vibe. We were a company, yes, a company of actors, but also actors and filmmakers working together with a common goal.
I mean, obviously, like everyone, I am a huge fan of your work. I've mentioned this, but I love talking to actors about the way they get ready for something. And I'm just curious, if you have like a big emotional scene on a Monday, or a big dramatic scene, or something that you know is going to be challenging for you, can you sort of talk about how you're getting ready for that performance, or how early on are you thinking about it, if you don't mind sharing?
Well, one thing off the top of my head is, when you're shooting a scene, you're going to be shooting it all day or maybe over the course of 2 days. So it's never usually one moment. And most of the time, when an actor thinks it's their big moment, it usually ain't. They're usually about to mess it up because they thought about it too much and they decided what they want to be, emotional or whatever. And usually you can catch them acting. You never know what the big moment's going to be. It might be a small thing.
Um, One of the things that I love the aesthetic of the film, the way that it's all shot on sound stages, the black and white. Can you talk about when Joel told you that the choices he was making for the film and your initial reaction?
Well, he had photographs and ideas up everywhere. So when you went to the production office, you could see the movie on the wall, or you could see where he was going or where he wanted to go and what influenced him. And he was open, he just had pictures and drawings and stuff everywhere. So there was so much to absorb. And it was fun because you maybe the question I had wasn't for him. Maybe once I saw a drawing, I was like, oh, let me talk to the production designer, what they had in mind, since they drew that, or the art director, or just going to the different departments. And it was just such a great collaboration. Again, Joel's a master, and he brings in all these great people around him. So I'm in this building with all these people that are really good at what they do. They're all masters. So you're like, okay, we're in here with the best. I got to bring my best.
I'm curious, what do you think it is about Shakespeare's words that has stood the test of time and allowed for so many people to take their interpretation of the material?
Well, going back to what I just said about the best, Shakespeare is sitting there at the end of the day going, yeah, and I'm better than all of you. So now you got to meet Shakespeare where he lives, be you Joel or Denzel or Francis or whoever. We all got to bring our game up to meet William Shakespeare where he is.
I believe that you are producing August Wilson's The Piano Lesson.
Yes.
And I'm just curious if you can give a status update on that particular project.
Going to Broadway, John David Washington and Samuel L. Jackson, if there's going to be a Broadway, we'll be doing the play on Broadway, and we should be shooting pretty much close to this time next year.
Oh, nice.
Spring of next year.
My last thing for you. What are you getting ready? What are you thinking about doing this year in terms of acting, if you don't mind me asking?
They have written the third Equalizer, so I'm scheduled to do that. So
Really?
I got to get in shape and start beating some people up again. I get to beat some people up again.
I am all for this. This is fantastic. This is great. No, seriously, I'm being
tragedy of Macbeth, and then going and beating some people up. Can't be better, right?
I love it. Listen, thank you so much for your time, and seriously, thank you so much for your work.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you.